It worked.
I see it.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We've got Brittany and Ryan from Next Level Voice Demo. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for joining us. Now, wait, where are you guys out of?
So we're in Burbank, California. So we're right down the street from Disney, Warner Brothers, all that good stuff.
Okay, done. I'll be there. I'll be there this weekend. Okay.
Let's hang.
Guys, so thank you guys so much for joining us for this interview to talk about your demo production process. So jumping in, what do you think the role of a demo is in 2024? Is it marketing? Is it still securing an agent? Is it something else?
Great question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Do you want to start?
I'll start. I mean, having just gone through this myself, getting a new agent here in LA, demos are so important in especially securing an agent. Very important, still very current, still something like it's the first thing they listen to, look at when you walk in the door. So very much still useful.
Indeed. Yeah. And I would say also it is great marketing as well.
Yeah.
You know, we think about demos not so much as a resume.
Mm-hmm.
We think about demos as a very specific tool for accomplishing a very specific goal, you know. So for us,
I like that definition.
Yeah. So for us, it's not about here's all the things that I've done. For us, a demo is a chance to say, here is who I am and what I do, and here is where I'm going in my career, as a way to open up new conversations with casting directors, agents, potential clients, whoever might be on the listening end of your demo.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Use it as a tool. It's not the end all be all. It's a tool to
No,
move.
it is a tool. And for us, you know, that's why, you know, it kind of segues into all the questions that people have, like about when should I make a demo, or what should I do with this, or what
like,
should I have?
It needs to be the best demo I've ever made in my life.
And, you know, and for us, when you simplify it down to this thing is a specific tool, and let's start from where you are and let's use it to get you to the next place, then you can start managing how that workflow is for you. And it doesn't become this colossal, massive undertaking of I have to make this demo and it has to be the greatest gift
that lasts me my whole career.
Well, and I think that you have hit on something that we've talked with other producers, and I don't want to get too off topic, but it's such a great point, is we do have to have a starting point.
Yep.
And often if you do maybe go a little beyond your reach, you may not be able to authentically duplicate that type of sound or delivery. It may be representing maybe a little too far or too coached. And I like the idea of starting where you're at. I love that you use that terminology. Like, this is who you are right now. And maybe 2-3 years from now, more coaching and just more experience and life and things change. Maybe it does evolve a little bit into something else, but I like that.
It absolutely will, and it should. I mean, you as a human, from day to day, you're different every day. And as an artist, as an actor, as a voice actor, you're going to change, grow, and evolve, and you're going to find where you fit. You're going to find what people really respond to, and there's no way to know it when you first get started. So treating it as something that's an evolution and that will open doors for you now to get you to that next phase is the best way we found to think about it, both as a voice artist myself and as demo producers, having done this for 10 years and seeing what works for all of our clients and what has opened the doors for them.
Right.
Love it.
Like,
well, go ahead.
Spoiler alert, in case we get down to this down the line, that's not to say that you have to have this demo that you're reworking constantly. You know, we're just to clarify, because what we're not saying is that this demo doesn't have longevity to it. You know, we want to make you something, and we want to get specific to where you have something that has, you know, 2-3 years worth of value baked into it. And it's not something where it's, I got this done 6 months ago and I'm ready to remake
now I got another one.
Our job is to have your demo made so that you can use it and forget about it. Like,
love it.
We just to clarify that. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later.
And I think that's a very fair point to pop in there. I know that we can get in our own heads, certainly as talent, and go, I don't know if that really sounded like me, and then come back in 3 months, can we redo that? You know, and that you can kind of, it could be this endless cycle of trying to get to perfect.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's no such thing.
No.
For us, I mean, and again, we're probably jumping ahead, but for us, a demo, the use of a demo is to open doors. When it stops opening doors, then think about it. Like, think about maybe reworking some things. But if it is opening the doors that you want open, if it's getting you the audition opportunities that you want, don't touch it.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, and so that's a perfect segue. One, I was going to say, how long have you been making demos? But you already said 10 years.
10 years,
10 years, yeah.
This year, which is exciting.
So I love this idea too. When I start thinking about it, is fundamentally we usually start with a commercial demo. But then what an opportunity to open a different door is if you choose to do a different genre of demo. So that's why I want to ask next, what genres of demos do you produce?
I'll take that one. So
take it away, Chief.
So what we focus on is commercial, animation, video game, promo, and narration. Okay. And the reason we do all these genres is because those are the genres we are currently working in.
Excellent.
Both of us. So me as a voice talent and as a voice director, I work across all those genres. Ryan, from casting, audio production, music, mixing, all that stuff, he has experience in all of those genres as well. So together, we only work in genres that we are currently working in.
You are just throwing me gigantic softballs here, because the next question, do you think it's important for producers to niche down the types of demos they produce? Because we've also found that a lot of producers are trying to do a lot of different things, and it may not actually align with what the market currently sounds like or wants right now. So what are your thoughts on that?
100%.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would just say I would kind of rethink about it from the lens that Brittany was saying, of rather than niching down or whatever that phrase was, is I would think of it as like, what can you honestly speak to today?
There you
and
go.
What are you working in today, so that, exactly like you said, Jen, so that when you're writing original scripts, which you should be for your demo, and we'll talk about that later, when you're mixing, when you're choosing music or writing music or sound design, are your production choices in line with what you hear on television, on the radio? You know, a lot of demo producers, unfortunately, they say they have a lot of experience, and they do, but they worked 20 years ago, and they're not actually bringing in real-time experience of what's happening today.
Which you can tell when you listen to demos, and you're like, that feels so dated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like,
and not staying on brand. We've heard this time and time again too, that and we'll get to this with the writing. For example, doing a Trader Joe's radio spot. It's like, but Trader Joe's doesn't do radio spot. So like, yeah, maybe you wrote it, but it's actually not relevant.
Exactly. And that's exactly part of it as well, is it's making sure that when you're sending this very specific tool out into the world to open new doors for you, that when people hear it, there's nothing distracting in there. Because from my background in casting, my job was I would get down, to the studio at 9 o'clock. I would sit down and I would have a brief from a client, and my job was to go through 100+ demos, pare it down to my top 10, and then share those with the client. Rinse and repeat all day long, 7 days a week. And
Wow.
You come to realize that the people who are using demos, the crap shows up really quick, and it becomes a very easy reason to say, nope. And
because your demo is never listened to in a vacuum, ever.
Right.
Your demo is being compared to people who are working at a different level than you may be, or people who've been doing it for a long time or not.
Exactly. And so this is our opportunity to make sure that when things are authentic and they're coming from a real world place, that we're already setting ourselves up for success, to where nothing in there, whether it be in your performance, in the branding, or in the production choices, that they're not distracting.
Yeah. Our job as demo producers is, and again, I feel like we're jumping into a lot of different things, but
you're good.
Our job as demo producers is to get out of the way and let the actor shine through. You should not be able to listen to a demo and be like, oh, so-and-so did that demo. No, every demo should feel unique to the actor. I don't care who did your demo. That's not important. Anyone who says it is, they don't know what they're talking about. Indeed. It's all about the actor and how can we showcase what the actor is bringing and support them. That's our whole job.
That's wonderful. I love that. So moving through that, so then the next part is for you guys, what criteria, if any, must a talent have before you will agree to do their demo? And I'll add to that, do you do a studio evaluation or do you have them come into you? Kind of tell me what that looks like. What's your expectation when somebody calls you up?
Yeah, sure. Great question.
Yeah.
So for us, when it comes to criteria, we are not a cookie cutter demo production house. Like you're not going to come to us and we're not going to run you through
you got to take this class and then do this thing and then you can work with us.
We're not those type of people. So for us, our philosophy and the way that we approach this is we offer a 15-minute, no obligation consultation for anybody on planet Earth. And we have literally worked with people all over the world.
That's amazing.
And we make ourselves available to meet people where they are and to understand what their goals are, why they feel they need a demo now compared to whatever, like what their situation might be. And it gives us an opportunity to have a real conversation as opposed to them having to meet some check boxes of a thing in order to do this thing and work with us. And then on that phone call, it becomes really apparent when somebody is like super excited and ready to make this thing. Or if it's like, you know what, after hearing your goals and hearing kind of what you're looking to do, you might consider maybe taking some more classes or coaching first and then come back. And in which case we would offer suggestions or, provide various resources and things like that.
Look into all these places and see what feels best for you, because there's no cookie cutter formula for anybody. People are coming from so many different backgrounds. Like we've worked with people who are coming from Broadway, people who are coming from on camera, people who've never acted before in their entire life, and this is a new thing for them. So there's no, you can't have a standard because the backgrounds are so different.
I like that. I like that. And you've said it early on is meeting people where they're at. And I know that word authenticity just gets thrown around so much, but I even know just in meeting you guys for minutes before, you also just get a vibe. Like you don't want to feel forced or like, well, I was told you're the best producer, or I was told I should only, and then it feels stilted or not authentic. And so I think having this collaborative energy and just positive vibe, you kind of feel that. And so just like you said, when you're working with a coach or something, find what works for you. Don't feel this obligation. Like I was told to do this.
Oh my gosh.
No, we want, if you, chat with us, like that is the whole point is like, we want you to fall in love and feel taken care of by what we're bringing to the table for you. And it is absolutely 1000% a collaboration, conversation, dialogue from the time, you're like, yes, I'm ready to work with you. To the time you have your finished demo, we are constantly talking. This is not here we go. We're going to
do what we say.
We're going to, do what we say. Like this is all about getting to the core of what's most important to the talent, what those things are for that specific human being as well. And taking all of these things under consideration and crafting something that is authentic to them and to the marketplace that they want to be a part of.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Excellent. Okay, so now the next question is about coaching. Now you guys don't actively coach or coach to the demo.
So it's so interesting. So we've had a little bit of an evolution. So correct. For demos, we are demo producers. You come to us and that's what we do. We are very hands-on directors during our sessions, but we do not require any coaching, any class, nothing like that. Because we have worked with so many demo clients over the years, so many people have asked us if we would start coaching for when they're auditioning and to work on things beyond the demo and all of that stuff. So this year we've just started coaching.
Okay.
As a part of our evolution, but it is in no way required. We don't use it for prep, none of that stuff.
Yeah, it's not linked to our demo stuff.
It's just additive.
It is. It is.
No, and again, when you have that momentum and when people are at, and you guys have you have been on all sides of the glass, it sounds like, as far as the industry. So you would add value. It's not just a money grab kind of situation.
Exactly.
And and for us, like there's a lot of value in coaching with a lot of different people and having a different person make your demo. Because like a lot of times when you're in a coaching scenario, and for us, like Brittany was saying, our coaching stuff is very like one-off stuff. Like we're not doing classes where we're building to a demo at the end. It's like, I want to work on this skill set, and then you coach with us. So it's separate. But in that regard, if you are going through a program where it's like you're going to coach and then at the end you're going to walk away with a demo, a lot of times what ends up happening is because you're surrounded by coaches, a lot of times those coaches, as well-meaning as they are, they end up seeing into your potential. And they end up being a fantastic cheerleader for you into what you want to do and what you can do. But then when they try and interpret that onto the demo doesn't work because that's not where you are now. That's where you could be if you kept working at it, in 6 months or whatever it is.
And so for us coming in as just demo producers, we're coming in from that casting mindset, that agent mindset of like, we don't know you. What do we hear? What are you bringing right now if we've never met you before? And that's what we're going to highlight in the demo. Of course, showing range and giving you places to stretch and reach out. But we're not saying, oh, you know what, Jen? You should do luxury. In 10 years, you're going to do all this stuff. So let's put it on your demo. Because maybe you don't do that right now. Maybe that's somewhere you're going to grow to, which is fantastic to keep in the back of your mind, but it's not where you are right now. And that's okay.
Yeah. I really like that answer. So that's, all right. So nitty gritty, how much do you charge for a demo and what is included in the cost?
Great question. Do you want to take that one?
So I'll get started. I'm sure we'll bounce back and forth because we don't work together at all.
I was going to say, you guys interview very well. You don't talk over each other. You're good.
We try. So with our demo process, because we treat each demo as unique as the actor that is coming to us for the demo, it's always different. There's a range. So for us, we are not the most expensive and we're not the cheapest. We're right in the middle. So it's hard to answer that question of like, our demos are this much. Okay. And that's part of why we do the 15-minute no obligation call, because once we chat and see where you are in your process, what we need to do for you and how we can work together, we talk through all that. Okay. But no matter what we do with people, our process is always the same. Okay. So we always start with what we call your branding call, where we talk through your goals. We get to know you. What does this demo need to do for you? Where are you currently? Like, what's your training been? And get really in your head about what you want this demo to do for you. And then we go back and forth with getting some samples, where are we doing the recording? Is it your home studio? All that good stuff. Okay. And then we write all original scripts tailored to meet all those branding goals. We do a ton of market research about, like, if we're doing an animation demo, you're into Cartoon Network and Disney stuff, great. Where do you fit in those universes? What can we write that feels like it fits in those different types of shows? Yep. Commercials. Are you a regional client? Are you doing national stuff? Is it believable that you do both, one or the other? Based on your goals, we will really research that. And we want to make sure that everything that we write originally feels like we pulled it off the air, that it came from these different things. We don't recycle scripts. We don't pull them out of the box. We don't use auditions. We don't use what's on air, because I've been in rooms where casting or agents have been like, they didn't book that commercial. That I cast that. They didn't book that. It's not real. And it immediately breaks that illusion of authenticity.
It's another reason to say no.
It's another reason to say no when there's so many good options. So for us, again, we want to make it so there's nothing distracting, and it's like, oh, they could have booked that in a different region. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Exactly. And so, so after we do that, we do a 2-hour recording session. We are super hands-on directors. We like to play. We like to try so many different things. We have an idea in our head of what this should be, but we want to be surprised. We love to collaborate. And if you as an actor come in with like, I have a weird idea. Can we try it? Let's do it. Let's do it. And so we do a 2-hour recording session. Then Ryan does all his magic with all the post-production, all the music, sound design, to make sure that each of the performances feel authentic, and whatever we add on to is supporting the performances. And then we have an insanely fast turnaround time. So from the date of your recording session, you get your finished demo in 10 days.
Nice.
You don't get a draft. It is a finished demo that Ryan and I believe achieves all the goals and branding we talked about from the very beginning. And then we tell all of our clients, road test it, send it everywhere, start submitting, start auditioning, send it to people in the industry that you know, if you have people that are working in a level you want to work at.
Submit it to the agents that you were targeting. The reason why we started the conversation in the first place. See what feedback comes
feedback. If any feedback comes in, great. Let's throw it in a bucket, talk through it, and see what we need to adjust to make it fit for you. If no feedback comes in, you don't need anything else from us. Start working. 9 times out of 10, what happens is, for a lot of our clients, they'll get the demo, they'll submit to an agent that they want to be with. They may sign with that agent, and then the agent's like, oh, you know what, that Toyota spot that's in the middle, put it in the front because I can really sell that. That's great. We're like, great. Let's do it.
Reorder. That's the easy part.
That's the easy part. And so that's our whole process. And, you know, for us, we want to make sure that when people are coming to us, that they are ready and that they are eager and they want to start working. And so our whole process from start to finish, that very first branding call to when you get your demo, it's like a month and a half total.
At most.
You're not waiting around 6 months from now hoping and praying that you're going to see this demo at some point. We don't want people to do that, because it's an investment and you want it to start working for you as soon as possible. And we don't want to get in the way of that.
Indeed. And all of that applies to whichever type of demo we're doing, whether it's a commercial demo, it's all original scripts, all the same stuff applies. Video game demo, original scripts based around your characters and archetypes, all that stuff.
Promo,
animation, narration, promo, all that stuff. It all starts from ground zero. And it all goes through the whole customized process from there.
So let me ask you this. Now, you said, you're all about collaboration and communication, and I think that's wonderful. But because you have, it sounds like kind of a flex pricing, are you open to like me writing my own scripts or bringing in a different director? If I sent you dry audio, would you just produce it? What are kind of your boundaries on
Sure. Do you want to answer that?
I have an answer.
We've revved you up. There's no stopping her now. We've got her all hyped up.
My coffee just kicked in. So this is.
Maybe take the first half and I'll take the second.
Okay.
So we've done anything and everywhere in between. Like we've had people that have, worked with another producer and they wanted us to just do the music, the sound design, mixing. Like we've had people do that. We've had people want us to just fill in spots, anything and everything in between. What we always like to ask people is if they feel really passionate about, like Jen, you were saying, what if I came to you writing my own scripts? If you feel really passionate about that, we would ask like, okay, what's your experience working in commercial? Have you written scripts before? Are you a writer? How many commercials have you been watching? Do you listen to a lot of demos? Are you currently working in the thing? What are your goals for this? Because any demo that we put together, we want to make sure that nothing in there is distracting. you know? And that comes even the part that you're bringing in, we're going to be honest about that of like, hey, Jen, I know you really want to write these scripts, but that tequila spot, you're never going to book a tequila spot. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Let's talk about how we can evolve it and make it change. Right. Let us do that work for you. Like that's what we're here to do. Again, if you're totally passionate about it, we're open to it. But we want to take that burden off you so you can be an actor, because I assume you don't want to be a copywriter as a voice actor. And that's always where the conversation starts.
Yeah. Okay. It's like we really want to make sure that even from the ground level, which are the scripts, that this thing is engineered to be super specific and helpful. Because you would be, again, like that whole thing of your demos not listened to in a vacuum. The scripts are so telling and the language is so specific. And when your job is to listen to demos, hundreds of them every single day, which it is these people's jobs who are using demos. Yeah. Actors don't use demos. Yeah. Your mom doesn't use demos. No. Like your best friend who's also an actor does not use your demo. Like the casting directors, the agents, like the studios, like these are the people who are plowing through this stuff every single day, and their filter is always changing. I need this now. Got it down. I need this now. And so like the scripts, I'm always surprised when people look over how important the value of scripts are and the role that they play in the demo process.
We did a casting. I promise this will be short. We like to talk a lot. In case in case it wasn't clear. But we cast for an animation project recently, and we started with demos. I can't tell you how many people had the same scripts. Yeah. And I know what show it's from. And I was like, none of y'all did this. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. And it's so distracting when you start hearing the same stuff.
See, I think, you know what? You're hitting on something that when I say nobody else has said, nobody else has said. The argument for this, is it custom scripts? Is it not custom scripts? I really like how you keep saying it's a distraction. You're not talking about, oh, it's a copyright issue, or it's not. I like this. It throws you off the listening, because again, when you said when you're a professional, when you're casting, when you're an agent, and you've just heard this over and over, you get stuck on those things. Or if it's super overproduced and like all you hear is the zing sound that they just keep, and you're right. I love that mentality of don't be distracting, let it be easy, because you're right. No advertising agency would, unless it was like a, come on down to the, car dealership ad, they wouldn't pay to put that. They wouldn't market a commercial that annoys you, that distracts you. Right. I really like that perspective on using that word distracting.
Well, and that's why a lot of so for us, a little peek into our work, we don't market. All of our stuff is by word of mouth. And that's why so many agents send their clients to us. That's why a lot of voice schools send their clients to us, because we don't want to be a distraction. We don't want to be like, oh God, here's another demo from X producer that sounds the same as everybody else's.
And you learn the formula.
You do.
Oh,
I mean, we've talked to agents who are like, I don't want to hear another demo by XX, because we know it's theirs. Yep. We know their formula.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And that's also, why we've been, so adamant about like, we don't have a formula. And that's why we start from scratch. Like, this is not a cookie cutter thing. Like, you get certain things working with us, which is our, process of, you're going to get original scripts and we're going to get a 2-hour recording session. So in that regard, like, that stuff is consistent from, demo package to demo package, but like the insides, the guts of it, it's all organic. And it all starts from inside the actor. And then we're there to make sure that none of that stuff that's important to the actor gets lost in translation or becomes a distraction.
That's beautiful. That's
Next question.
If I had a mic to drop, I'd drop it. But all I got is this pencil.
Flip the table.
We're changing the phrase. It's now pencil drop. Okay.
There we go.
Less damaging. All right. Okay. Last two questions.
Oh.
In the time you've been producing demos, what shifts have you seen regarding industry standards around demo production? So I love what you're saying is really getting to this organic place, finding people where they're at. Maybe it's technology. Do you feel like demos need to sound from a technological standpoint, like the audio, the sound effect? Do you feel like that's changed? Have you seen some shifts over the years or see any shifts coming up for demo production?
Yes. Okay. And I would actually approach the question from a completely different way, because the way it's phrased now about do you see any trends changing with demos makes it sound like the demo is a product in and of itself.
Yeah.
And it's not. A demo is a reflection in the same way that, like, you know, we talk about how like music or great art reflects the times that it's in. A demo is a reflection of the times in which it is in. And so the demo for us, and the way that we approach it from every phase, is about what is happening now. Where are you now? What are the trends now?
What is casting
listening for now? And how do we know those things? We ask them.
Yeah.
Because we have, through our relationships and through all of our hard work and time in the industry, we've been able to build really great relationships with people, and we can ask. And so that is one of the value, that's a big value that we bring as producers, is we're not just talking out of our ass about, like, this is what's in a demo now. It's like, well, let's ask and let's see what's helpful from the people who use it.
Which is why, like, you know, I would say one very clear example is nobody wants character demos anymore. You want an animation demo or a video game demo, if that's something you're interested in, because casting's listening for very different things. Like, if your
animation has changed, because I did mine too. It's not just weird voices. It's more real.
It's like, I don't want to hear that you can do a Mickey Mouse impression.
That's right.
That's not helpful. That's not helpful. So it's like, so knowing what casting needs to make their job easy. Because as actors, we're there to solve a problem. We're there to be like, casting's looking to solve this question of who's going to be the perfect fit that my client needs for this. Our goal with these demos and as an actor is to solve that problem and say, here, let me make it easy for you.
And again, it circles back to presenting every actor in their best light, highlighting what's most important to them, and also making sure that there's nothing distracting in there. And a lot of that means making sure that all of our direction in terms of the performance and editing and choices for the actor, and the production choices in terms of sound design, music, things like that, are all very current and are all based on real research about what these things sound and feel like. Because that's what you want. Like for us, like in the context of a commercial demo, say, like the best compliment you could get is you book a job, you know, however you got it, off your demo or audition plus a demo, whatever it is, you roll into the session and you shake hands with the person and it's like, oh, hey, Jen, like great to meet you. And you're like, oh, hey, I'm so happy to be here. And they go, oh my gosh, you sound just like your demo.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like you're fantastic. Like we're so excited because in that moment, the director knows that like you're not full of shit and that like they know you as a person and they're getting what you're presenting to them,
they
which
trust you.
And you've got this sense of trust. And then you go in and you just do your thing, you know, like
you do you.
Like, and that's what it is. Like in the context of a commercial demo, obviously like video games and animation, I would hope you're not that psychotic when you walk into a room, you know, with like, rah, 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 whatever it is.
Maybe you are.
But, you know, at the end of the day, like that's really what we're after is whatever it is, whether it's based in, you know, character land with video games or animation, or it's based in like you with your promo, narration, or commercial stuff. is we want to make sure this is kind of the full picture of what we're talking about authenticity and about nothing being distracting and about making sure that the talent is up front and center so that people can connect with you as a person as opposed to feeling, like you said, Jen, like that they're listening to a demo.
Well, it's like how for anybody who's auditioning, and Jen, I'm sure you've seen this as well, you see a lot of things of like, no voiceover announcers, no announcer, real person, non-actor. That's all that means, is we're not looking for someone to say, side effects include this, I'm putting on my announcer voice.
That's right.
They want to feel like you're a real person, and they want to hear you as a human and your opinions. And that's our whole goal with all of this.
I love it. I've loved this interview. I feel so connected to you guys. And the down to earthness and really making it talent forward just really makes all the difference. That's what's very appealing that I've, in talking to you about working with you. So that leads me to my last question. Why should a talent choose to work with you?
Did you watch the interview? Pencil
drop. We're done here, folks. Thanks for joining us.
I mean, for us,
last sales pitch. This is your last elevator pitch.
Done. I mean, for us, we always feel that, do your research. Yeah. Our work speaks for itself. Our process speaks for itself. If you don't vibe with us, that's totally fine. There are so many demo producers out there. We want you to find someone that you're excited to work with, you vibe with, and you love what they do. If you can't hear samples of their work, do not work with them. Do not work with them. If they don't offer a free, no obligation, like info dump, do not work with them. So we always tell people, do your research, talk to a lot of people, see what process and what energy you vibe with, and that's who you should go with. And for us, I mean, of course, we think our process is the best. Our demos are the best. Of course we think that. But, we're not going to tell you, oh, you have to work with us because that's the only way you'll work in this industry, because that's not true.
That's right. And I would say, like, at the end of the day, what you get from us always is our best.
Yeah.
And we always approach this from the inside out. And so this always starts with very honest and direct conversations. Yeah. And so that we can get clear about what's most important to each talent that we're working with. And then we bring our, 10 plus years of experience in this industry to bear.
In the demo industry.
And
more than that with the VO industry.
Hence the plus. Right. Hence the plus. But
you don't want to waste each other's time.
And exactly. And we really just want to make sure that we're coming to everybody in a very honest and transparent way.
Yeah.
Like, there's never going to be a client that works with us and feels like they're not getting our best. And we take a lot of pride in that, which is why, like Brittany said, is for the past 10 years, all of our clientele and all of our stuff is referral based from high level agents and casting directors and from other actors that have worked with us. Mm-hmm. Like, excellent. We take a lot of pride in being that resource for people. And we are so thankful that we've been able to impact so many people in that regard to where they feel excited to share our name and to get people in touch with us.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us and telling us all about your production company and your process. It's been great getting to know you. And but don't leave. I'm going to hit stop.
Stop.